All right, so I've had a few folks that haven't really had too good of an experience starting out their eBay selling career. And as you guys know, we talk about coins. Coins can make you quite a bit of money as kind of like a supplemental slash passive income opportunity. But you're gonna find that when you go to sell as a new seller, that coins and precious metals aren't one of those things that you could sell right away. eBay has kind of thrown a lot of things regarding these type of sellable items as more restrictive for new sellers. Now, if you're a brand new seller right off the street, you sign up for eBay and you want to get started, there are, of course, a few things that you need to know about. The number one thing that I think escapes a lot of people's minds is that you have a selling limit. Okay, and that limit is 10 items at $500 total value of all those items. Now, when I say total value, it's however much you put into your listings for the value of that item. Normally, I would say, and I would probably recommend when you're starting out your eBay business and you want to be able to move quickly into that next level of selling collectibles the same way that I'm doing, more so coins and paper money and silver and gold items, things like that. You want to make sure that you get right out of the gate running. A few of the kind of best practices that I recommend is when you're selling your items, you sell and you list as many items as you can. And personally, for me, I would put up items that are $10 and under. Okay, it's allow you to really shoot at a wider bandwidth, a lot more items as a new seller than, say, putting up a few items that are like maybe $100, $200, because that's going to quickly absorb your $500 cap as a new seller. I would recommend things that are $10 and under. Keep in mind, the smaller the item that you sell, and you can just go into your house and sell all the stuff that you don't need anymore. We're all pack rats, by nature. So there's got to be quite a few items that you don't need. Maybe you have that old point and shoot camera that's probably 10 years too old as far as technology is concerned. Throw it up on eBay for $10 shipped. Things like that. Get rid of it. Establish some sort of selling record on eBay. So the biggest question that I think a lot of you might have is, why does eBay impose these restrictions on new sellers? And it's real simple: to protect its customers, right? To protect the folks that go on there and they buy, everything that they want to buy on there, and not get the feeling that they're going to get scammed their money, or they get sent something that's not as described, and then that person closes their account and it takes off to the hills with some sort of undisclosed amount of cash, which has happened. It happened in the earlier kind of like Old West days of eBay 10 plus years ago. So they have certainly tightened up the just minimum requirements that's kind of necessary to get, these people to the next level. And I think it's a really good idea, all right, because in today's world there is a lot more of the shadiness going on the secondary market, and you have to protect yourself in some aspect. So what you're going to do as a brand new eBay seller is, right out of the gate, you're going to go and post as many items as you could think of. Some of my favorites include like action figures. Now this one is in its original packaging. You don't necessarily, and it's dusty too. Whew, sorry about that. But selling stuff like this is a huge fan favorite. You go, I think probably one of the best things you could do for yourself, if you have like a flea market or some sort of toy fair coming to town, you just go there, buy a whole bin of used action figures, because action figures actually has a pretty good secondary market. Go ahead and buy a bunch of these, do a little research work on eBay, list them. All right. And the cool thing is, when they don't have the packaging like you see here, these figures can drop right into a bubble mailer. You know, you go to Walmart, you go to the dollar store, Dollar Tree, you pick up a few of these bubble mailers on the cheap, and then you could kind of get yourself kind of, you know, fast-tracked into an eBay store situation. But you got to get through the first 10 listings, and you got to get these things shipped out within 24 hours from a sale. So someone buys your item, all right, go ahead and print out that label, ship that puppy off. Throw in a little bit of a invoice in there with every package. Go ahead and get it out. But figures, toy figures, one of my favorites because you can buy them in bulk at most thrift shops. Another thing I like, guess what these are, baby? Look at that, Hot Wheels. I mean, we all collected them back in the day. It doesn't matter where you're from, okay? You could be male, female, you could be any such color you want to be, but Hot Wheels, everybody buy these. All different genders, well, few genders, squirrel, but everybody buys these things, okay? They come in bulk. You could sell the cars out of the blister pack. There are a number of them that are worth a lot of money. The treasure hunts, a lot of the older redline wheel cars, those things actually pop up at these flea markets and thrift shops more than you want to believe. And they're trying to sell these things for like a quarter. So you can buy up a whole bunch of these, take really good photos. Again, this is an item right here that you could pop into a 000 mailer and then send it off, you know, with a few dollars shipping. You're going to be good to go. And then, you know, probably if you know what you're doing, you can do sports cards. Guess what? We're going to talk a little bit about doing listing and doing something called draft bank. So when you get to a point where you're ready to sell on a much deeper, larger level, I'm going to tell you guys a few little tips and tricks here at the end of the video, so don't go away real soon. But getting your items on eBay, getting as many of them as you can to fulfill that $500 requirement, and just sit back, relax. Someone hits the buy it now button. Let's say you sold one of your Hot Wheels for $5 shipped. Keep in mind, you know, you're going to have to take the first 24 hours is going to be pivotal, all right, in getting your particular account into good graces of eBay. Because if you do this and you do it well and you're regimented, you have this plan down, you know, you can even do this on your spare time. You know, you probably work a full-time job and you want to start doing some reselling on the side, all right? You got to kind of crawl before you actually walk tall. So again, getting these items out within 24 hours is going to be important. So that way you can, now there will become a point maybe like in 30 days after you've sold 15, 20, 25 items. And the idea is you want to try and sell one item per day, and get the items out within 24 hours, because that's going to show up huge on eBay's side. When, let's say, you're ready to list more items, you could list the more restricted items like this. All right, coins. By the way, that is a coin in spite of the ring light flushing it out. But that's where you need to go. Okay, you can't sell coins and precious metals right away, but you have to work to that point. And then figuring, you know, a few of the common sense items that are cheap, they're low shipping cost. All right, that's important. Is going to get you well ahead in the game. Now, in 30 days, you could contact eBay directly and have them take a look at your account, okay, and then try and plead your case to be pushed up to the next level, and then they could do that. I think in total there's only 3 levels. You have the beginner level where you could do 10 items up to $500 value, and then they push you up to, I believe, 100 items. It might be more than that. And I think that dollar value gets capped up to $2,500 or $5,000, somewhere around there. But they'll make that judgment call once you get to that point and they feel like you're ready to list bigger and better items. So I think at that point you could probably sell coins, precious metals, and currency. But yeah, this is all kind of like the dirty work. You gotta get your account, what I like to call seasoned. You have to season your account same way that you would do on Amazon. If you wanted to be an Amazon seller, you have to season your account before they could put you into the algorithms a little bit better and get you more into the competitive kind of like top tier list of sellers that, that sell a certain item. Another thing to keep in mind when you're thinking about going into selling, okay, try and keep your store scaled down to a couple very specific niches. All right. In this case, I showed you some toys. All right. Go ahead and maybe do a store of toys. Okay. And then maybe, kind of plan things out. Do you want to be known as a seller that deals in coins later on? Or do you want to be like an all-purpose store? Or do you want to deal in one specific niche? All right, these are things that you have to understand, because if you deal in one specific niche, you're going to rank a lot higher in the algorithms for that item. All right, whereas let's say if you just threw up everything on there, I sold, selling a used set of golf clubs, and then we have a pair of Levi jeans, and then we have baseball cards, and then we have used breast pumps. That's gross, by the way, but you get the big idea. Try and keep the items that you scale into your store or your account to about at the cap 3 different listing sub areas. That's what I like to call it. So just to let you guys know that I'm not blowing smoke up anybody's rears. Okay, 10 items right there. This is on Google, and it's part of their eBay selling requirements page. Okay, you could do up to 10 items with a total value of $500 a month. This means that during the month you can list and or sell up to 10 items for a total of up to $500. This is the standard limit for all new eBay sellers. So keep that in mind when you're going to sign up an account for eBay. I think a lot of people get frustrated at just the sound of this. They don't want to just list and throw up everything that they can to get to that item level or to get to a certain criteria that looks very favorable for eBay. They want to go and start listing coins, right? Because that's why I'm telling you guys, coins are a big business right now, whether you're a roll hunter or you're doing something else. But we do have to get there. Again, crawling before we walk, and that's what's important. So that's a lot of the other stuff regarding new seller accounts and how to kind of proceed and how to really fast track. I've heard from big YouTube content creators like Daily Refinement, who's actually pretty local to me. He's actually in the Bay Area, which is really close. He's one of the more established kind of like YouTube mentors out there that knows how this process works. And generally, if you play your cards right, you're diligent, you put in the hard work to start your account, he says in about 90 days, you can become a full-fledged store. You could sell whatever the hell you want. And that's exactly where we want to be. We want to get this thing up and running before the summertime hits, because eBay is busy during the summer. You better believe it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about draft banks, okay? Daily Refinement had talked about draft banks, okay? So I have what I call here my draft bank. I have 13 items that over the course of the last 10 days, I have actually essentially created the listings for all these items. And it's actually a lot of these sports cards that you see here. I actually listed these here the last few days, but I did not want to make them live yet until the first of the month. And for whatever reason, I like to stack up my my eBay account, my store, with a bunch of listings on day one, so that way it kind of punches the algorithm a little bit. It gets all my stuff out there. Seeing as how sports cards is one of the most listed items on eBay, you're going to find that there's a lot of people are doing the same thing. They're going to be listing 50, 100, 200, 500 cards on the first 1 to 2 days of the month to kind of kick things off. And a lot of that has to do with the free 250 listings kind of promotion that eBay gives its more established sellers. They're free, whereas if you didn't have the free listing feature, it costs 35 cents. Me, the 35 cents does not stop me. I will list a bunch of $10 items, $15 items, $20 cards, and up, and I'll still pay the 35 cents because it's worth it. We're trying to build up a really nice size store. I deal, as you can see, in collectibles and coins. I actually have a stack of coins that I need to image and get on eBay here this week. But as you can see, I had provided a draft bank of 13 sports cards that I had imaged, that I had written descriptions of, and I also have actual titles of every single thing. So these aren't live yet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to click all of it by hitting this particular box right here. It's going to auto-select every single draft that I have in there, and I'm going to show you guys this right now. We're going to go to resume drafts, and we're simply just going to go and make this live. So let's go ahead and do this. You guys say, yeah, you guys won't know what my password is because it's a bunch of dots. So, but anyways, we're going to go ahead and, go right in there. And, this is where you're going to batch auto list all of your items. All right, and when you get in here, actually, this is a blank template. So what we'll do is, this is the new tool. I haven't used this yet, but if you elected to want to do this, you could do this as well as part of the auto batch. So we're just going to leave this page here. We're going to go back into my listings. And I'll probably just have to do one at a time. All right, so we'll go back into listings and active or drafts. I could do drafts just as well on this one. As you can see, I have $13,000 in items, so that's kind of like the possibility. I mean, they all have to sell in order for me to, make that kind of money, but I also have to take into account the actual cost of the items, and that's the fixed price amount for these items. And I have over 500 items on here. So, I'll just go to each one individually, hit resume draft, like let's say for this first card right here. And everything's all set up. I had done all of the listing title, the photos are already in there. I did all of the minor stuff here, like the sport is a graded no. Manufacturer, blah blah blah. There's a lot of things in there. I did the kind of like a little thing here in the description box. Fixed price listing for only $7. So free shipping with a plain white envelope. Keep in mind that's for items under $20, and everything's all set up. Free returns, and then list item, and then bam, this thing is live right now. Free. See, you'll notice it says 0 right here. It didn't cost me anything because it's the beginning of the month, and I have a fresh bank of 250 listings that I could throw up on eBay without having to pay that fee. All right, so success, you've listed your items. So I'll go back and then I'll reload every single one of the listings in my draft bank, get it up on eBay, and then guess what? My work is done for the day. Obviously you want to try and set up a draft bank of about 25 to 50 items and have it set up. Maybe this is something you do all throughout the previous month to get ready for the first day of the month. Set up your draft bank with a nicer amount of items, and then go ahead and fire away, send it out there, and then you're good to go. So we got that one. We'll just go and resume the next one. Again, these are all lower priced items. Lower profit. I'll profit about $4.50 off of each item. They're going in plain white envelopes, and the shipping costs about 90 cents. So after it's all said and done, after fees and shipping and all that great stuff, I'll make about $4.50 per item. But keep in mind, I also have a lot of items on my eBay store that are $20, that are $50, that are $100, $200, $250, $500. I have a wide range of various pricing kind of whatchamacallits in there. And, you'll sell a few of the cheaper items, but you'll sell also some of the more expensive items as well. And they all add up into the same pool. And that's what you want to kind of develop with. See, this one's done. And guess what? It took like seconds, I tell you, to get this, posted onto your eBay store. But again, the possibilities can be endless. The amount of work that you put into this will ultimately get net you whatever result you want it to. If you want to make $3 grand a month, selling on eBay. Okay, just do the numbers, understand what you have to do. You have to, throw up maybe 1,000+ items, and make sure you always have that amount and higher on there in order to make that happen. You saw at the beginning when I was in my account, just in the last 90 days alone, I made what, $8,700. So, I'm doing really well. It's not the highest amount of money during a 3-month period that I've ever made on here, but again, it's really on how much you apply yourself is where you're going to get the most amount of success out of it. All right, so something to keep in mind. This is why I wanted to talk about today was not only establishing as a new seller, but also taking a look at draft banks and setting that up for the first day of the month. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. I wish you guys a lot of success in your eBay sales or whatever you guys do. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. You guys take care. We're Coinaholics. We are discovering together each and every single day. And I wish you guys a lot of luck and success. And a lot of money will come your way. You just have to believe and really focus in on what you want. All right. Take care.